Good day, everyone. Welcome to our program, Lima Kagatos Katuig nga Pagtuo, 500 Years of Faith, in celebration of the 500 years of Christianity that the Spaniards brought to our islands 500 years ago. So padayon kita yan na hanaton pag-resurya iunong han Amores Letizia ni Pope Francis, the joy of love in the family. We are now in chapter 4, which I said is my favorite chapter in this apostolic exhortation of Pope Francis on the joy of love in the family. Chapter 4 is about love in marriage. Love in marriage. So, what is love? No, what is love? Han mga high school kita, no? Mahilig kita din han aton chambuk. Ano nga ba tawag nun? Scrapbook or so one of the questions, no, that was asked there, what is love? Love is what makes the world go round. Love is blind. Love is you and me. Kung ano-ano pa mga cheesy things that we wrote there in our scrapbook. I forgot already how we called it, no? Pero mahilig tayo nun. So here in chapter 4 of Amores Letizia, Pope Francis talks to us what love is. What love is in the context, no, of family, of marriage and the family. Dida ano itungod nga paghigugma, dida ihit mag-asawa, nganhit pamilya. And Pope Francis, iya din to explain what love is in the context of marriage and the family. He quoted St. Paul and Hymn of Love of St. Paul. This is also one of my favorite passages in the Bible. And I will read it to you. Now, I know you know it. So, here, let's listen. According to St. Paul, what love is according to St. Paul. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. Love is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Ganda, no? Beautiful. The definition of love, according to St. Paul. And Pope Francis will elaborate, will explain each and every aspect, no, of love, according to St. Paul, in the Hymn of Love of St. Paul, which is quoted by Pope Francis in his apostolic exhortation, Love in the Family, Amores Letizia. So, siyahan nga characteristic kit paghigugma is that love is patient, pasensyoso. Ituod nga paghigugma, hit mag-asawa, nga hit dirahit pamilya. Pasensyoso. Love is slow to anger, dire madagmit maginsog. No? Naghuhuna-hunaanay, nagkukontrol, hit aton nahinginisgon, because we're thinking of the good of the other person. So it refers to one who does not act on impulse and avoids giving offense. No? So, kaingin largo kita nangingisog, damot at nayayakan, nga later, ginbabasulan ta. And then may kubinati nga usang artista, yung papakianan niya, mahilig akin mga artista. No, kasi nitong quarantine, no, ang dami nating napapanood sa internet, mga interviews, iba-iba lang ang klase mga tao. And natuwa lang ako sa sagot ng artista na to nung tinanong siya. Kasi parati siya nakangiti, she's always cheerful, and gimpakyanan hiya. Hey, ikaw, hindi ka mo nag-aaway ng yung boyfriend. Nasing hiya, well, as much as I can help it. Diri nag-aaway daman ko no hira, pero nag-aaway hira na naudong la hiya. She remains quiet, silent, tumatahimik lang siya. Di na kuno yan nagpipinanyakan, nag-iinaka, nagpipinangisog, sisirain yung mga kung ano-ano la. Kay nasing hiya, anyway, magbabati rin naman kami. Mag-uupay man nga hawitira. Kay kung magpinangisog pa kuno hiya, makakapagyakan pahiyahin mga magsuol nga mga pulong nga makuri na bawion. Kasi pag nailabas na natin, di ba, yung masasakit na salita, narinig ng tao na pinapagalitan natin, usually ang mahal natin sa buhay, or a family member, a child, a husband, a spouse, ngayon, ada na, sulod na din na huna-huna, nga siya in mga pangingisog haiya, no? Usually nga nangingisog kita kung ano-ano nga mga karatan ni tao, aton din pupulo, ngayon kung ano-ano nga at mga hingingisgon hit nga tao, and what is sad is we say things nga danay exaggerated, no? Dire ka matuoran, pero dara kay hita hingingisgon, napupulong ta, nayayakan ta. So that's what is meant, no, by love is patient. Diri ka yayakan o nagbubuhat based on impulse. Dara kay naaringit ak, nangingisog ak, and then kung ano-ano na iting pag-iinakanon, kung ano-ano na iting pagbubuhaton, na later pag nahimasmasan ka na, ma-realize niyo, ay, masakit pala yung mga sinabi ko, no? Nakaka-offend pala yung mga sinabi ko. Well, maupay kung magsusorry ka later pag na-realize mo nga itawo nga yung nasaktan mo ay tatanggapin yung sorry mo, di ba? So tama rin itong sinabi ng artista na better to keep quiet, no? Kaysa yinakan ka pa mga magsuol that you will regret later on. Medaliwat usa nga justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, ni Ruth Baden, no? Justice Ruth Baden, usain hit mga icons, hit women's rights, women's equality, but she is a very loving wife, strong and solid in iya marriage, nga ungod good an era paghigugma, aniya paghigugma ni asawa, and what they have is true love. Kaya ini nga iya asawa nga ni iya and gintimangno han nasakit hiya, gintimangno ni Ruth, and she fought for her marriage, and she was always there for her husband. In one of her interviews, in one of her public speeches, speaking engagements, gimpakianan hiya kung ano at mga sekreto o sa sekreto at kamakusog hit era marriage hiyang iya asawa, and then siring niya in marriage, no, danay kinahanglan ni magpakabungol-bungol, no? You have to be deaf. Sometimes you have to be deaf. Kaya kung may nim na babati nga nasayakan yung asawa or a family member nga masuol, ayaw ungayi, no? Because maybe that person didn't really mean it. Nasiring laan to niya, dara kay may ada niya aagian, may niya pinagdadaanan, no, nga maisog hiya, mairritable hiya adto nga adlaw. Susiring ni Justice Ruth Bader nga ayaw nalait ungayi, parang hinwara ning batia, let it enter in one ear and pass the other ear. So that's patience, no? Patience. And it does not mean nga pamartir ka. Dire buot singon nga matuyang ka nga pagtitimaratan ka, matuyang ka nga aabusaran ka in whatever form, physical, psychological, emotional, and sexual abuse or financial abuse, and allowing other people to use you na mapagamit ka at ibang tao. It does not mean that way, no? Dire pa martir kay Serenera at martir pinupusil dito ha luneta. So dire ita siya buot sigon it being pagiging patient, pagiging pasensyoso. Actually, ita an example hit patience, no? Ang tao nga nagpakita in patience ang atong Ginoo. Paano niya inanon niya ipinakita niya pagpasensya. It nga paulit-ulit, pero may kita niya pinapasaylo. Paulit-ulit natin siyang sinasaktan, pero paulit-ulit rin niya tayong pinapatawad. So that's the patience, no? That St. Paul is talking about when he talks of love as being patient. So let's learn, no, from the love of Jesus, which is patient, andam, pumasaylo, bisan kung pabalik-balik, paulit-ulit na sinasaktan. Pero siya, paulit-ulit rin na nagpapatawad at nagmamahal ng walang hanggan. Ang US Supreme Court Justice nga nagsiri nga dirahit iyo pag-asawa, ginman yung binabati nga masuol, pagpakabungol-bungol na ikaw, ayaw, don't dwell on it, wag mong pansinin, let it enter in one ear and pass the other ear. And he Ruth, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ami ko may apelido pa yun eh. So Ginsburg, no? Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. As I said, isa siya sa mga icons on women's rights, no? Equality, ang pagkilala, ang mga karapatan ng babae. She's very good, no? Although siya may naman niya mga views na very liberal, but basically, no, at ang pinaglaban niya na ang makilala ang mga rights of the woman, no? Rights of the woman. We mentioned last time, di ba, nga may mga rights, mga karapatan that were denied women before. For example, the right to vote. We were not allowed. We as women were not allowed to vote. And then I mentioned ko liwat that in some countries, women are not allowed to become judges, no? And this was in Iran. This is in Iran. I learned from an Iranian lady nga maswerte kami nga mga kababayan nga mga huwes kay dito ha Iran, it babae bawal maging huwes. Dire pwede mag-apply to become a judge. So siya pa in profession, no, na dire pa kinikilala it babae dito ha Iran. But in our country, kinikilala na. But you know, I also mentioned last time that there was a time nga puro la kalalakinan ang nag-aaramhin law, no? During my father's time, he graduated in 1961. My dad, he graduated from Ateneo Law in 1961. Puro la yung nakalalakinan. Muray pa babae nga nag-aaramhin law during his time. Pero di na ako. When I entered law school, damo na ang kababayan. It was in the 70s, no? Ang kababayan kinakarawat na law school. So, that's Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And then, ini pa nga paging pasensyoso, hit-uhod nga paghigugma. Sa ring ni Pope Francis, we encounter problems whenever we think that relationships or people ought to be perfect, or when we put ourselves at the center and expect things to turn out our way. Very, very true, no? Parang Pope Francis hits the bull's eye, di ba? Nga nagkakaproblema di dahil pamilya kung hikita diri kita pasensyoso aton asawa, ibang mga member aton pamilya, kabugtuan, aton kag-anak, kung kita anak. because we expect them to be who we want them to be. Diba? Ikaruyag ko nga ikaw will be the person that I want you to be. Kung ano ta kadikita huna-huna, kinahanglan sugad kahin. But that's not the case. That's not the case because we're all different. And nobody is perfect. No one is perfect. No, danay bata o asawa o, members of the family naguhuna-huna. My life should be perfect. I should have this. I should have that. Kinahanglan may ko balay nga dako. Kinahanglan may sarakyan. Kinahanglan damot ang kwarta. Dito habang ko. Kinahanglan agsub kami o nakakapagbiyahe kami outside of the country. Kinahanglan itak mga panapton, mag-upay, mga sugariton. But what are you doing? What are you doing to make those dreams come true? No? Kung umaasa ka lang na, parang darating ang God fairy mo and then give you all your wishes without you doing anything, without you working hard for your dreams, that's not possible. And you will only be frustrated and you'll become impatient. And it's wrong, Danay naman, we put ourselves at the center and expect everyone to act the way we want them to act, di ba? Nga kinahanglan susunod ko lang at karuyag. It happens a lot in the family nga may adaw sa nga dominante nga hiyat nagpaparagbuot, kinahanglan sugadhin, asyain. Without respecting the wishes of the others, no? Di nga ni nagpapakiana iyo paghuna-huna maupay ba ini o magpagplano kita para hitaton, I don't know, a project, a home project or a vacation that you want to take, planuha niyo together. Dire nga ikaw na magbibinuot. Pakianhi itin ibang miyembro, iyo pamilya. Kung ano naman itira karuyag. And then, hopefully, para paprehot yung mga karuyag. Pero kung dire, you have to learn to compromise para enjoy ka mo nga tanan ito yung bakasyon. And unless, Serenity Pope Francis, unless we cultivate patience, we will always find excuses for responding angrily, and we will be incapable of living together. We'll become antisocial, unable to control our impulses, and our families will become battlegrounds. Mag-iinaraway lakita dito atong pamilya. Magpipinangisog lakita if we are not patient, if we don't accept people as they are, if we don't respect their uniqueness, their being different, kundi ta kakarauton hira nga iba hira haaton and kinahanglan taliwat irespeto it era kun ano man hira ngan kun ano may tira liwat mga karuyag. So patience is when I recognize that other people also have the right to live in this world, Serenity Pope Francis, just as they are, even if they annoy me, upset my plans, and not everything I want them to be, and they're not everything that I want them to be. So, this is very important, no? Kaupahin nga Serenity Pope Francis, nga pagiging pasensyoso is to recognize that other people also have the right to live in this world just as they are. Just as they are. No? Dirilay kita it may katungod, karapatan, na umukoy din niya kalibutan. And that all the other members, every member of the family has the right to live in this world just as they are. Let's not turn them into the persons they are not, because we will only be angry, we will only be frustrated. We will only be frustrated. So patience, love, patience is to accept other persons as part of this world, even when the person acts differently than I would like. So that's what it means when we accept the person as he or she is, nga may niya karapatan, katungod, nga umukoy din niya kalibutan, the way the person is. So, the same thing, nga hikita liwat, we want to be accepted as we are. And correctly, what kilalon it aton katungod to live in this world just as we are. So, what else is love? Aside from love being patient, love is at the service of others. It ungod nga paghigugma, nagsiservihit iba. Nagsiservihit iba. A good person is one who shows his goodness or her goodness by his or her deeds. Isring pan usang mystic, love is deeds, not sweet words. Usang a saint, I don't know if it was Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Love is deeds, not sweet words. So it's not enough to just say, I love you, I love you. No, but you have to show it with deeds. Ipakita ta, hit at mga ginbubuhat, hit at mga ginyayakan, ginpupulong, ipakita ta hit at paghigugma. And love is more than a feeling. To love is to do good. So, dire la nga, wow, may spark, di ba? Ganon yon pag masaring ka, ay, parang hiya na, kay may other spark. No, the spark is good, no? It makes the love exciting. But it's more than that, no? It's more than that. Ito nga spark, ito nga feelings, nga, pero minamiyag yung pipinan huna-huna, hindi ka mapalagay, hindi ka makatulog, kaya tinitigawat ka na kasi hindi ka makatulog sa kaiisip, sa mahal mo. But it's more than that because we know that feelings pass. They're permanente. It's not always, you won't feel the same all the time. Pero, itungod nga paghigugma, remains. Bisan kung wala na didaan spark, wala na ang loving feeling, bisan kung wala na, aada lagi hap and paghigugma. So that's what it means, no? That to love is to do good to the other person. Love is kind. It is ready, ever ready to be of assistance. No? Buutan, paghigugma. Andam bumulig, andam magserbisyo anytime, all the time. May nga ni iba, no? May mga tao nga itira love language, narinig niyo na yon, love language, no? How do you show your love? What is the language of your love? Some people, their love language is service. And itira pagserbi, itira hinigugma. You do the things, nga, karuyag itim asawa o itim hinigugma. May kungani o sa kilala, talagang love na love siya, no, ng asawa niya. And hiya, and babae, nga tanan sinusugo iti asawa, nga tanan binabali iti asawa. And then may ada bugto hining babae, may niya bugto ti kang Amerika. Nasasyak niya, hansing mana, ano nga bisa nila kung ano ito sinusugo kan mano, kaya kung ako nito asawa at suguon, di-divorce akit. Hindi pong, kaya mo na yung gawin, ba't mo pa iuutos sa akin? Pero alam ng yung babae, no, from the Philippines, nga, it language iti asawa to serve her. Nga tanan iti signon, iti isugo, babalihon iti asawa. So maswerte yun. But yung kapatid naman niya galing States, iba rin naman yung love language ng kanya asawa. Tahimik lang yon, tahimik. But yun naman yung love language ng asawa niya. Tahimik lang siya. Dire niya kinukontra tiya asawa kasi yung galing Amerika, maano yun madaldal yun madaldal. Mahilig magkomento, ganyan. Pero yung asawa niya, tahimik lang. And that's his language of love, no? To be patient also, to listen, just to listen, and then, yung let it enter in one ear and let it pass in the other ear. Nakakatuwa, di ba? Nakakatuwa. Iba-ibang languages of love. So service is one of them. Being patient is one of them. Another characteristic of love is that love is not jealous. Diri maabugho itungod nga paghigugma. Diri naiipa. Love is not envious of the good of the other, but it rejoices in the success of the other. So diri na iipa, diri na titreten kay damo yana nga mga mag-aragsawa nagbubulag, nagkaka-problema, kay na-insecure ito sa nga asawa, labi na kung lalaki, tapos mas successful iti asawa nga babayi. Maupay it career, mas kinikilala, mamadako it sweldo, yan na nai-insecure naman lalaki. Okay, he is supposed, no, according to our social expectations of society, it lalaki it angay magpakabuhi. It lalaki it angay mas powerful, mas kilalado, mas mamadako it sweldo. He should be calling the shots at home. Darakay mas powerful hiya because he earns more, because his job is more prestigious. But that's not always the case. And it doesn't matter. May ko example, last time, di ba na akong sangkay nga doktor, tapos nakapangasawa hiyahin chef, seaman na sa kayang barko, tapos chef hiya dito. But then, they decided nga umudong na hiya paging seaman para permiya aadat era pamilya labinahan magkaanak na nira an era pag nag-anak na anak na sangkay. So she wanted her husband to be around for the family to be complete. Pinaudong niya pag sa kayang barko. So nakadaan ni asawa ha balay, and the wife, my friend, was the one working. She was the one working in the hospital. And that's okay. That's fine. And then the husband, kay maaraman niya manluto, so nanluluto niya. He actually, I think, worked in a restaurant, or I don't know kung hotel yon, as a chef. No? He doesn't earn as much as his wife, but they are happy because they are together. So it doesn't matter, no? Let's not be envious and jealous of the good of the other. Instead, let us celebrate. Let us celebrate the other. Kung may niya mga success, let us acknowledge that. Let us be proud of the success of our spouse, of our children, o hikita nga magburog to. Let us be proud of the success of each one. Ayaw kita maging envious, no? Ayaw kita kaawa. Because everyone has different gifts and a unique path in life. Siring ni Pope Francis. Dili kita angay maawa. Kaya nga tanan kita, may kanya-kanyang regalo galing sa Diyos. Because we were all made by God, created by God beautifully. Beautifully. Always remember that. Always remember that. All of us have been created by God beautifully. Bawat isa kada usaha aton may ta mga gifts, talents from God, and may ada unique na path, no? Aton journey din nga kalibutan, unique kada usaha aton. So diri ta angay magkumparar, ikumparar itong kaligorimo ng ibang nga tao. And true love strives to discover its own road to happiness while allowing others to find theirs, no? So let's look for our own road to happiness, and let's give the others the freedom and respect them when they take on their own journey to their own happiness. So dapat ganon, magiging suportar, magiging bulig-bulig, and let's be happy for the good, for the success of one another. Isa pa nga karakteristik, hit ungod nga paghigugma, hit mag-asawa, nga hindi dahil pamilya, sa rin ni Pope Francis, sidahan, Amoris Laetitia. Amoris Laetitia, the joy of love in the family is that love is not boastful, diri hambog. It ungod nga paghigugma, diri hambog. It refrains from talking too much about yourself, but focus on others. No? So diri, puro la, hikita, me, I, myself, no? Nga pirmi hikita let bida, paghinambugon, to the point nga, dito na nakikita, it maupay, it ibang membro at pamilya, it maupay direct at asawa, maupay direct at mga anak, kay puro la it aton attention, it aton mga achievements, no? Na maupay ko may achievements. But even if we have the achievements, dirita nga ighinambugon. Kasi yung mga achievements natin na yan, galing naman yan kay Lord, di ba? Para gamitin natin. Para gamiton tayo pagbulig. Kita ato ni kasi tao, pagbulig, unang-una, members of our family, at asawa, nganit aton mga anak, mga kaurupdan. So, this is a famous passage from the Bible. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. Love builds up. Puffs up. No, nakakaburog lang, nahihibang, naruruba. It's danay ora-ora nga aram nga diri ginagamit. Pagpakaupay it iba, pagbulig it iba, pag-appreciate it iba, nakakahibang it pamilya, nakakahibang it pag-asawa. Pero it paghigugma is what builds the marriage and the family. The marriage and the family. But what really makes a person important, no? Siring ni Pope Francis, it's not nga mga balto kita, damot at mga achievements, mga poderoso kita, mga kilalado kita, mga riko kita. What makes a person important is a love that understands and shows concern and embraces the weak. No? So this is what Pope Francis said in his apostolic exhortation, Amoris Laetitia. It umod nga tao, importante, it aton pagka-importante, tikang hit aton paghigugma. No? Nahigugma kita, ninaintindi kita, napakita kita hit aton concern, labi na hit mga weak members of the family. No? Napakita kita nga na we care about them, no? So dire la puro itat kalugaringon itat ginuhuna-huna, dire la nga pagserbiyak niyo din kinahanglan ni mauli amo na naka aadan itat pagkaon ngan kinahanglan ita karuyag nga kakaunon asyet iyo ihahanda dire la misa. No, di ba? Mabulig kita pagpuriga. No, that's why we need to go home. Ay na stay away stay outside too long. Kung human na itrabaho, uli na para makabulig kita at mga trabaho na pamilya, balay, and do it together, no, with the rest of the family. And that's a good way to bond, di ba? So kung maaga ka nga mauli, makakabulig, pagpuriga, pagtima, paghugas, when you have time, no, mag-istorya to catch up. No, kung anong mga nahitabuha iyo, ito nga adlaw, ask each other, how was your day? Or, I don't know, watch a movie together. No? Basta time for each other. So, that's what we have to do. No? When we serve the others, because love serves the other person. And then everything makes us important. Everything makes us, react aggressively. So it's not boastful, no? It dire hambog, itungod ng paghigugma. So let us show our love, siring ni Pope Francis, let us show our love by the way we treat the weak, the poor, and ignorant. So kan may love is marked by humility. If we are to understand, forgive, and serve others from the heart, our pride has to be healed and our humility must increase. Siring ni Pope Francis in that apostolic exhortation niya, Amoris Laetitia, the joy of love in the family. You know, dinhit pamilya, dire papreho nga tanan, di ba? Mga anak, may ada bright, may ada giba-bright, may naman average la, may nga liwat, mahinay, di ba? May nakita ko inin usa nga akong sangkay. Bugto, mamaaram haiya. Pero may nakaka-honor, may nakaka-ribbon, nakaka-medal. Hiya, akong sangkay, classmate ko, average la. Napansin namin na mas paborito ang kag-anak, ang nakaka-honor, ang nakaka-medal. Mas pinapaboran. And amon sangkay, dire masyado. Pero, but you know what? iniya na nga amon sangkay, dako ipakabulig it irang pamilya. Dako ipakabulig. Sigit iya pangalayon at iya abroad. Tanan, it iya mahibubulig it iya pamilya, iya ihinahatag. Iya inahatag. So, di ba, bisan kung mas ringtang at tinimaratan hiya, kay mas pinaura, ang iya bunto, nga permi nakaka-honor, permi nakaka-medal. But, so, for the parents, no, to be careful, no? Mabuti nga, yung kaibigan namin, mabait. Marahiya pag-rebelde. Ngahin, yan na, nga, may niya higayon yung pagbulig, nabulig hiya. Because she can choose not to help, di ba? Labi na kung nagtanom hiya, maraot na kaburuton, haniya kag anak, narakay diri patas, at pagtratar haira, hihaiyahan nga dan iya bugto nga mas pinaura. So, love is not boastful. Love is love is humble. Love is humble. In family life, the logic of domination and competition about who is the most intelligent and powerful destroys love. No? So kung paiirali natin yung ako mas dominante, ako mas bright, ako mas masusunod din that we already disrespect the other members of the family by not being sensitive to their needs, by not acknowledging their presence, their uniqueness, mahihibang ipamilya. And the others, no, hindi ka lang nasabot, will become resentful, di ba? May magtatanong naman maraot na kaburuton hain because you have been hurting them all this time. So let's remember, no, that love is not boastful, love is humble. And we treat everyone, labi na it mga mahinay, dire kunta successful, parang haaton, we treat them with love, with understanding, with patience, and we embrace them, and we look for the good in them and appreciate the good that they have. So sa pang maupay nga characteristic, o sa pang characteristic itungod nga paghigugma, it mag-asawa, nga direct pamilya, is that love is not rude. Love is not rude. Rude walang batasan, no? So, to love is to be gentle. Itaton pamulong, itaton mga panggawi, itat mga gestures, no? Dire, pagpalo, dire, pagkubot, no? But to caress, to hug, no? To kiss, and basta nga inuupayan nga gesture, no? How do you say that? Like, yung ulo tinatapik. When someone does good, yung pag may family member, no? Wow, na may niya maupay nga nabuhat. So, you tap the head of the person. Yung buhok niya ginaganyan mo. I saw that in my pamangkin. In my pamangkin, he was only, at the time, he was only like 10 years old. 10 years old, but he is now 11 years old. Tapos, niya bugto, who was 4 years old at the time, or 3 years old, kasi last year to December, na umuwi ako, pag-uli ko at balay, pagbakasyon ko, ang December. An amon umangkon, nga 3 years old at that time, may ada niya play toy, mga letters of the alphabet, ibubutang niya didahan mga luho-luho, no? In the proper places, shape, no? Ang mga guho naka-shape according to the letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, ganyan. And he was so fast. He was only 3 years old. Natanan niya na hibutang in their proper places. Nakakatuwa, and he very fast. And then yung kuya niya was so proud of him. Ginano niya yung ulo ng kapatid niya. So that's being appreciative, no? And showing your appreciation for the member, for your brother, for that member of the family. So gentleness, no, in our words, hitaton mga pamulong, dire nagkukuroon, dire nagbubusa, ng tatawagon tetat anak, upaya tetat pagtawag, ni makikakayakan kita, upaya tetat makikayakan, dire nga, parang permi ka nang inisog. Bisan kung dire naging hisog, we have to be gentle and thoughtful. Thoughtful. Ano daw na iya karuyag nga merienda yan na, ano daw na iya karuyag nga, I don't know, color, iti bado, no, if you want to buy a dress or a shirt for the person. So you make it personal, di ba? Personalized. Diri nga, di sale. Sige, okay ka lang to buy items on sale. I do that. No, I always look for the items that are on sale. Pero pipilion him kung maangay iya. Yes, pipilion him kung maruruyag iya. And then, love abhors making others suffer. No, sa damain nga aspeto that love is not rude. Dire ta karuyag nga pakurian it iba. We don't want others to suffer. And dire pamilya makikita ta labi na itaton mga kag-anak nga dire kinukurian hirangin masakit itira anak o may ginaaging kakurian kay sirinira kung pwede lahi ako na magbababahit nga inaabat is I don't want you to suffer, no? So that's very good, no? We don't want others to suffer. Love is courteous, no? Courteous, gentle, kind, marespeto, maupay at batasan, no? And it knows how to listen. It is, maaram kita mamati. Dire nga, puro hikit alat magiginakan, puro lait, kung ano itad karuyag, asyat masusunod, na mamati liwat kita. No? Kung ano karuyag naman hit iba, kung ano naman era, karuyag sigmon, mamamati kita. And love is sensitive. No? Danay, we don't care about the feelings of the other person. To be sensitive is to care for the feelings of the other person. We don't want to offend. Direkta karuyag nga hindi natin gusto masaktan yung tao, yung mahal natin. Kaya, we are sensitive. Kung maaram kita nga ini, direin maupay nga joke, no? Direin maupay nga laksi. Ayaw ta na paglaksihin. Okay, kung makaka-offend lait nga laksi, kung gintatamay ta, pero iti kita naglaksi man na at gintatamay ta. I don't know, iti hitsura, iti paglakat, iti pagyakan, no? Ayaw ta pagtamaya, no? We can, maybe, we can joke about it, but with very ayaw din pagtamay, di ba? Pwede naman like, oy, ang ganda-ganda mo ngayon, pero alam natin hindi maganda. Oy, ang tight ko yung hair mo, pero yung pala hindi maganda. I mean, I don't know, something like that but without offending the person. Dire nga, ayaw na pagtamaya because that's the one that is offensive. That's the one that is offensive. And then to keep quiet, hibarulawan kitahin pamati, and so that we can listen well, then we have to keep quiet. No? Udong pagyakan. Give the other person the chance to speak, the chance to talk. And when he does or she does, then listen with an open heart, with an open mind. And sometimes, not to say anything, especially kung diri makakaupay. No? Siringanin nila, if you don't have anything good to say, keep quiet. No? Ayaw nila pagyakan. Kontrahin, maka-offend ka pa. Kontrahin, makapagyakan ka pa. Himasuol, hindi rin maupay. So, that's love. Love is not rude. It is gentle. It is courteous. It is sensitive. It knows how to listen. And it knows how to appreciate the other person. May naman gin-mention hi Pope Francis, tidahan iya Amoris Laetitia. Hiunong hin this phrase, I love it very much. He talk about a kind look. Buutan nga pagkulaw. to interpret it literally, no? Yung mapagmahal na pagtingin. It helps us see beyond our limitations, Rinia, to be patient and cooperate with others despite our differences. So it's still about being kind, no? Not being rude, but being kind, being gentle, being courteous. Kay Danay, direct at pamilya, dire papreho permit aton ginhuna-hunaan it aton pagkulaw it mga butang it mga events dire permit papreho pero irerespeto ta it iba nga pagkulaw it iba nga tao for example o iba nga era mga plano iba nga era mga ginhuna-hunaan for example nagpaplano ka mo I don't know pamasyada. Although yan nga pandemic, parang hindi magandang example, no? Pero diniya ato na probinsya, nakikita ko, nakakapamasyada kita. Naghihirot la. Dire, so diniya Manila nga naka-ECQ, lockdown, no? So maghihirot la kita para dire matapnan ni COVID nga dire magitapon-tapon ni COVID. Pero nakakapamasyada mga tao nakikita ko na nakakarating mga resort, yung mga beaches, no? Paano kung iba yung nasa isip, no, na ibang family members karoyag niyo kumadto sulangan and then mag-overnight dito yung isang hotel or resort. Yung isa naman, iyang karoyag, kumadto Tacloban. Yan, or siguro din hinala kumadto Dolores o Oras o Sulat, no? May naman dito mag-upay ng mga resort. Karoyag niya dito. So, paano yan? Nag-iiba't mga plano. Nag-iiba-iba. So, magkukuro kayaknan pag-irestoryahan. Kung ikaw, napirdi ka, hanim karoyag, waraan siya ang pagburutos han kadaman. Anong gagawin mo? Maupoy ka nala. Di ka maupod. O maupod ka, pero maaaringit ka. No. So, bisan kung napirdi ka, napirdi, pero daog ka lagi if you join and have fun with the rest of the family. And if you give in, no, to what the majority of the members of the family like. So, dire kita ma-insisterit at karuyag. Kung mamadamo, ibait era karuyag. Mabulig kita, and we will have fun with everyone. We will enjoy, we will serve the others, and make it a memorable trip, or a memorable vacation, or a memorable bonding for the family. So, a kind look, no? Buutan. Dire nag-iisog, dire naaaringit, dire nagpapakaraot, nga dire tinataganhin mga maraot nga kahulugan, it ginyayakan o gimbubuhat ibang nga membro at pamilya o it asawa kung iba hitim ginuhuna-hunaan. So, no, let's not do that. Kahit kita lang, kung di ka mag-enjoy, sinong mahihirapan dun? Di ba ikaw lang? Nga tanan nagkakarisyuhan, nga tanan nagkakaralipayan, nga tanan nag-i-enjoy, ikaw nagmumukmuk ka, ikaw naaaringit ka, di ikaw yung kawawa. So might as well have fun, enjoy and have fun. Di ba? Mamaupay ito. Kontrahin magmumukmuk ka, di ka nala maupon. Ako, mamakuri it kabutangin sugadit. Yan, talagang madugang iting pangisog, samantala the rest of the family nagkakaralipayan. So join them and have fun with everyone. Loving kindness, rin po Francis, it buutan nga paghigugma, di ba? It builds bonds, it cultivates relationships, and then it creates new networks of integration, and it knits a firmer social fabric. No? So, from the family, kung aada, it loving kindness, it mag-asawa, it pamilya, hirangam o sa kapamilya, nahigagawas it, pati it membro, it community, and the members of the country, no? Kay nahigagawas. We see that, no, in a lot of people nga maupay itira banding, itira pamilya, madali ira bumulig itira ikasitao, dili itira community, dili itira probinsya, dili itira nasod. So that's the wonderful, no, result when we have this kind look, and when it aton paghigugma buotan. Ganhinot aton susugdon, hit ka buotan, hit ka gentle, hi Jesus. Waray na iba kundi hi Jesus. When speaking to one another, no? Hi Jesus, puro words of kindness, aniya hinahatag, aniyang pinupulong, aniyang mga binubuliwan ng mga pulong are always words of kindness, of forgiveness, words of love. Diba? Be not afraid, no? Agsog niya singon, be not afraid, and then I will never leave you, bisang kung bayaan ka, hitim nanay, hi ako diri, ako mabayain mo. O pinasaylo ta na ikaw, and sin no more, I have forgiven you, sin no more. Napaka-reassuring, napaka-liberating, di ba? It mga ginpupulong itatang Ginoo. And love one another as I have loved you. Mag-upay nga mga pulong itatong Ginoo. Susugdat ahiya by being gentle and being loving. And then giving that kind look to everyone. Isa pa nga karakteristik, ungod nga paghigugma, sa rin ni Pope Francis, sidan iya apostolic exhortation, Amoris Laetitia. The joy of love in the family is that love is generous. Mabuligon, generous, mahatagon. No? Ipaghigugma, ungod nga paghigugma, mahatagon. It does not seek its own interest. No? Dere napakiana, what's in it for me? Ano may titakdo na makukuha? But it seeks the interest of the other. No? Ano daw letak mahihahatag? Ano daw letak mahibubulig? Hita akon hinigugma, hita akon asawa, hita akon mga anak. No? It's not the opposite. Nga, what can I get from them? Ano't era ihahatag ha akon, serbisyo nira ha akon. No, but how can I serve them? How can I be a good father or a good mother or a good child or a good sibling to the other, no? To my siblings, to my parents, or to my spouse, no? Yan ang iniisip mo parate. That's what it means to be generous. It's not always in terms of money. Dire kinahanglan nga riko ka para maging mahinatagon ka. Because money is not everything. While money can buy material things, nga nakakapagpahalipay, pero happiness, kalipayan nga hinahatag, mga material nga butang, is temporary. No, it's temporary. Actually, it's not the material thing kung nahatag kita, narigalo kita. It's not the material thing nga talagang nakakapagpahalipay, but the thoughtfulness nga na naisip mo siya, and then naalala mo siya, kaya binigyan mo siya, ibinili mo siya ng regalo, binigyan mo siya ng regalo. Kasi yung regalo na yan, pwede yan masira, pwedeng nakawin. But the thoughtfulness, the thought, the loving thought that came with the gift, that's what lasts. And that's what really makes the person happy. Diba? Pinahalagahan mo siya, binigyan mo ng importansya, pinakita mo sa kanya na mahal mo siya. No? That's what's important. So serving others is far more noble than loving ourselves. May siniring ni Pope Francis din nga, it's true we have to love ourselves, no? But that has to be understood in the context. Now, we cannot love others if we don't love ourselves. Kasi kung maraot at pagulawat at kalugaringon, kung diri kita at peace with ourselves, mahirap magmahal sa iba kung sarili natin hindi mahal. Pero that has to be understood in that context, no? But not in the context of, ako muna, bago kita mahalin. Ako muna, bago kita pagsilbihan. Kaya ako anay, saan ak humatag, no? Saan ak bumulig. Kaya ako laanay, angay. No, that is wrong. It has to be others first before self. Of course, God first, and then the other, and then the self. And that's where true happiness comes from. That's where true happiness comes from. So, desire to love than to be loved. No? So, beautiful. Ang ganda-ganda. Higugma ikaw. Instead of desiring na higugmaon ka, just love. Okay? Just love. And you will be loved. You will be loved. And even if sometimes nira na ipapakita itira paghigugmahain, but never doubt nga hinigugma ka nira. And the time will come nga mayayakan itira hain. Salamat, hinigugma ka nam. And also, let's always remember, no, that Jesus was the first one to love us. And even if others don't show their love for us, may guaranteed na nahigugmahaton. And that's Jesus. Especially when He died on the cross. Diba? Who can do that? No? But someone who greatly loves. Isang tao nga dapat paghigugma nga andam hiya mamatay dirahit krus. Dirahit iya dako nga paghigugma it iya mga kasangkayan. So, that's another characteristic of true love. Love is generous, mahatagon, not only in terms of material things, but in terms of oneself, no? Oneself, pagiging thoughtful, pagiging mabuligon, mahatagon kita aton oras, no? We make time for the person we love, we try to be there during the important events, milestones in the lives of our children. That's being generous. That's being generous. And then, to always desire to love than to be loved. Sige lang, go lang, love ka lang. Bisan kung danay mapakiana ka, hindi ko mapakinira. Don't worry, mahal ka rin nila, mahal ka rin nila. At kahit hindi nila sabihin sa'yo, meron nagmamahal sa'yo. At yan ay si Kristo. Mahal na mahal ka niya. Kasi handa nga siya mamatay sa krus para sa iyo, para sa atin. So, love is generous, no? So, let's remember this and let's show that love, no? That is generous. Another characteristic of love, of true love in marriage and in the family is that love is not irritable or resentful. Diri aring tanon ituod nga paghigugma nga dire resentful, no, nga may resentful yung may tinatanim na sama ng loob, and then we resent the other person, dire tahiya kinakaruyag dara kay damoy at mga gintimos, no, mga hinanaing sa taong to. Parang we put a tab ang iyang mga magraot ng gibuhat, ano yung mga magraot ng ginyakan, nagkikwenta kita, o mga wara niya buhata, nga sa rin niya, bubuhato niya, nagkikwenta ba kita. So, let us not be overcome by evil, sa rin ni Pope Francis, and love does not react harshly to the weakness and faults of others. No? Ituod nga pag-igugma, diri nangingisog, ninakita kita yung mga karatan, yung mga kahinayan, kaluyahan, diri aton hinigugma. And because it's so human, di ba? Like, maaaringit kita yung nga tao, okay, parang hubog. Ay, grabe, manigarilyo. Ay, diri nakakahinumdum with amon anniversary. Ay, permi wala. Dili mga birthday, tiya anak. Kami at trabaho kung ano lang nga mga pasagin, no, nga wala din o diri iya successful like I want him to be, o an iya mga iginsaad haak kan mag boyfriend girlfriend pala kami, wala iya mga tumana kasi nga nag-iba na yung mga maraming nagbago, no? So, yun, naglilista ka yung mga dinidiri. But we shouldn't, no? You shouldn't. You should keep an open mind and then always look for the good in the person. And sabi nga ng isa, yun daw ang ibig sabihin nun that love is not blind. Yun ganun pala yun. Love is not blind. Diri buta ituon nga paghigugma. Love sees everything. Love sees everything. Love sees the good. Love sees the bad in the person, but it also sees the good in the person. So that's what true love is. Let us not grow weary in doing good. Ayoko no kita udong pagbuhat maupay. So let's just keep on loving and doing good. And our family will be happy. And we will be happy too. Liwat maupay nga advice ni Pope Francis, no? Hit mag-aragsawa, ngahit mga membro ng pamilya, yan may ada mga misunderstanding, may mga away, may mga di pagkakaintindihay, na sari ni Pope Francis, don't let the day end, nga dire ka mo, nagpapasaylo, nag-uupay, nga dire ka mo, tawad, no, sa nangyari, no, sa inyo. So don't let the day go by without forgiving each other. Let us never let the day end without making peace in the family. So those were the exact words of Pope Francis. Never let the day end without making peace in the family. Kung may ada sugadhit, nag-away o may di pagkakaintindihan, magbaton-batunay, may gimbuhat, na di rin maupay. Sabi niya, pagipuro pasaylo ka mo, pagtuhay ka mo, para sano kamo mga turog, ayos na kayo. Magkaayos na kayo. Kay kung pahuhuntun pa niyo, kinabukasan, buwas, kahit mga sumunod pa nga adlaw, ada na it nga nagtatanong kita yung mga magraot nga kaburuton, direct kita na nagkukurokayakan, and then one day it will finally burst, no? Parang mayon volcano na bigla na lang puputok, and that can be very disastrous, kaya it can lead nga magburuglag, magbulag at mag-asawa, magburuglag at sa kapamilya. Kung damot aton didagin pipinan tago nga mga kaaringtan, magraot ng mga kaburuton. That's why it's a good practice nga kung may ada away, mag-asawa, magburugto, humano niyo, aro ka mo pasaylo, nga pag-istorya ka mo, para saan mahuman itadlaw, nagkabati-bati na kayo, nag-upay na kamo, kay nagka-istorya na kamo, nagipuro pasaylo na kamo. Dinhida met Amores Letizia, although later pa inisisigo ni Pope Francis, but we can put this here already. May niya tutulong favorite ng mga words or phrases nga aton kunta pirmi gagamiton o pagyayak noon direct pamilya. And what are these words? Siringani han TV show for children, Barney. These are the magic words. What are these magic words? I love you. Forgive me. Thank you. Ganda, diba? I love you. Forgive me. Thank you. Hinigugma ta ikaw, pasaylo aat, salamat. Salamat. If you use these words, as I said, magic, mawawara ang mga magraot ng mga kaburuton. No? Kung magpapaubos kita, maaaring pasaylo. Tapos magpapasalamat kita, because for sure, that person, a mother, a father, a spouse, a sister, a brother, has done something good for us. So we thank the person for the good things that the person has done for us. And I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you. No? pasayloa ako, sorry, kung nabido ta ikaw, kung nakapagyakan akin diri maupay haim, kung nakapagbuhat akin diri maupay haim, pasayloa ako. And salamat, hinigugma ta ikaw. Beautiful, magic words. So let's remember them. I love you, forgive me, thank you. Not necessarily in that order. Pero danay daman, sabi ni Pope Francis, words, you don't need to say anything, but show it, no? Ipakita, kung naawad ka pag sabi na I love you, then you can hug the person, or kiss the person, or I don't know, offer a food to the person. Any gesture that show you love the person, no? No need. No, sometimes, makuri, pagyak noon, kung diri ka ni ara. But you can show it with deeds, di ba? You can show it with deeds. May papakita nin, hindi maupay nga panggawi, maupay nga binuhatan. And that will already make the person feel loved and understood, and everything will be okay. Everything will be alright. And bangin yan, di rela bangin, pero mas mamaupay pa di relasyon than before. Because now, na-express na niyo ang iyong mga feelings for each other. Feelings of love, of forgiveness, and gratitude. Very nice, very beautiful. Mga pamulong ni Pope Francis, Gran Amoris Laetitia, the joy of love in the family. That's why it's my favorite. And then let's end with this. Daho pa in, so may add a part 2. But let's end with this, kay related man hiya, dahil love is not irritable or resentful. And this is the love forgives. No? Napasaylo, itawad nga paghigugma, napasaylo. Dire nga mapaiirali natin yung pride natin sa, hindi, sinaktan mo ako. Paulit-ulit mo akong sinaktan, hindi kita mapapatawad kahit kailan, kahit anong gawin mo, hindi kita mapapatawad. Huwag ganun. Ganon. Again, our example is Jesus. Paulit-ulit natin sinasaktan si Jesus, pero paulit-ulit rin niya tayong pinapatawad. So kung Ginoo, kaya niya na pasayloon kita paulit-ulit, kasi paulit-ulit natin siyang sinasaktan, sino ba naman tayo na hindi magpapatawad kahit paulit-ulit tayong sinasaktan? So, pag pasaylo kita, ayaw kita pagtanom, hingingisgon, hinmaraot nga kaburoton. And ayaw liwat kita pag kinulaw. Don't keep looking for more faults and imagining greater evil, presuming, all kinds of bad intentions. No? Kidanay daman it aton imagination na sobra. Nagpipinanuna-huna kita hin mga magraot na bisan wala man pagbuhatahin nga tao. So, that aggravates. Di kita na ibabarot pagpasaylo. Dara hindi nga aton maraot nga paggamit it aton imagination. Kaya pipinanuna-huna tanan iya mga magraot nga bubuhaton. Bisan wala man niya maraot nga ginbuhat. So, let's be careful, not to have those kind of thoughts. Let's not be harsh with the mistakes and failings of others. Ayaw liwat kita pagtanong, pagkwenta, yung mga magraot na binuhatan, pasaylo ata na, and once we have forgiven the person, that's it. Pansit. Pasaylo na, forget na, start all over again. So these are the good qualities, no? I mean, of what true love is. And let's imitate, sugdata, buhatata, hidat kalugaringon nga kinabuhi, hidat kalugaringon nga pamilya. And there will be joy in the family if we do that. So, thank you very much for listening to our program, Lima Kagatos Katuig nga Pagtuo. And we'll see you again next time. We'll have a part 2 of Love in the Family, Chapter 4 of Amoris Laetitia. Stay safe, everyone, and see you again. Let's pray. Continue praying for one another for the end of the pandemic. Bye-bye.